Just adjusting it slightly because I think the edge of the table is going to have to be a little bit lower. So I'm just going to push that down. And now I'll get the light side of get the light of this tablecloth, get that nice bright value in. I had a lot of fun setting this up because there's a lot of really interesting shapes that are being created by all these different objects connecting together.
Yeah, it's a great setup.
Yeah. Like there's some nice kind of repetition of shape as the husk over here, the husk of this corn is kind of mirroring the angle of the tablecloth, so you have a nice repetition of shape it's a similar shape, but it's not the exact same shape. So you get it's nice for the eye because it connects things together. And then there's some nice dark shadow values over here that I want to make sure I get in to help balance out things.
What do you use for your darkest dark?
For my darkest dark, usually I use ultramarine blue deep and my transparent oxide red to make my darkest dark. And I try and kind of hold off on that a little bit so I can always come back later and really punch it with going even darker, so you can have that nice accent dark.
Oh.
But it can also be good to kind of get that in early so you know what your darkest dark is, and then you can relate everything else to that. I'm going to kind of go around the shape of this pumpkin and make sure the silhouette of the shape is correct. And I get that nice light value in the background up here. And then it comes over and kind of transitions into the shadow. There's a nice gradation of light to dark over there. And then over here, there's a little bit of a clear edge and separation between these objects. And there's a really cool area where you see the back of the sunflower over here. And you get all these really interesting shapes and colors. These really vibrant greens. So I'm going to use a little bit of lemon, cadmium lemon with ultramarine blue to kind of get that nice vibrant green. Make sure, might have gone a little too high with that, so I'll bring that down. And then you have that darker green, that warmer, darker green in a couple areas where it's casting the shadow onto the other areas of the base of the sunflower. And then it connects over here into this sunflower as it comes across, as the stem comes across there. I have to make sure this sunflower is high enough, but I don't want to have it be cut off by the top of the canvas. So might have to adjust a couple things around it. Get the light in here. Use a little yellow ochre in this mixture. A little yellow ochre and titanium white. And keeping it still pretty thin. I'm going to try and connect these shapes together of this sunflower connecting into this sunflower. And that's one thing I usually really look for, is those connections of shapes and getting those accurate. That can really make it really interesting when you have all these really beautiful shapes that kind of flow into one another. So you get that visual flow. I'm going to go just a little lighter. I'm going to push the lighter value here so I can get that contrast of these shapes, making sure they read clearly. And this comes down here, and then there's the green of the sunflower and one of the leaves right here. That connects into that, and then the stem of this pumpkin comes up and over here, and it kind of connects in a way to that shape. It continues to lead your eye into the sunflowers. I'm going to come back and I'm going to adjust a couple values to make sure I'm getting things close enough. I'm going to go a little darker and adjust the shape of the shadow on this white pumpkin. I'm going to use a lot of yellow ochre and maybe a little ultramarine blue to get that color. Maybe just a little bit of transparent oxide red too. Might be just a little warmer, so I'm going to add a little more transparent oxide red into that mixture. And then make sure that shadow at the base of it is really nice and dark. Get that value nice and dark. Make sure the value over here is dark enough to really cut out that edge of the pumpkin.